So we're going to start by looking over this first question. The first thing we absolutely need to have access to is our reference tables. All right, and you want to look at this copy of the reference tables. That's the important thing. All right, so we're going to come back to this. So the first thing we need to find out is what's the charge of each of these. All right, the way we're going to find that out is by using the valence electrons. Magnesium's located right here. Group 2 tells me it has 2 valence electrons. Oxygen is right here. Group 16 tells me it has 6 valence electrons. That information is going to help me find the numbers of the charge. 2 valence electrons tells me magnesium is going to lose those 2. It's easier to lose those 2 than to gain 6 electrons. When magnesium loses 2 electrons, it loses 2 negatively charged particles. It becomes more positive. It has a +2 charge. Oxygen has 6 valence electrons. It's easier to gain 2 to get to 8 valence electrons. When it gains 2 of those negative particles, it has a -2 charge. All right, this is your first step. All right, the second step is figure out the ratio. Sometimes you get lucky and the ratio is already balanced. Ask yourself, is this one of those situations? Yes, it is. If I have 1 times my magnesium charge, I can have 1 times my oxygen charge, and this does equal 0. This step can be done in your head if you're comfortable with math, but if you're not, I would do it on paper like I just did. What this means is I'm going to have 1 magnesium. That's how I show that. I'm going to have 1 oxygen. That's how I show that. If I wanted to represent this in the Lewis structure, I draw 1 magnesium and 1 oxygen. Well, magnesium lost its electron. I'm not going to write anything, but I'll write the charge. Oxygen gained 2 electrons. So I'm going to draw those 2 electrons. Right? One of them is here. One of them is here. When it gained those 2 electrons, that's how it got its -2 charge. Now the check is, this cancels out this, so this is our correct value. This is the formula. This is the Lewis structure. Lewis dot structure. All right. So I'm going to do a couple of these helping you see what the charges would be. Magnesium, again, we know is going to be a +2. Chlorine's found right here. How many valence electrons is chlorine going to have? Try and answer this. It's going to have 7 because it's in group 17. It's easiest for chlorine to gain 1 electron, so it's going to become -1. Chlorine has a -1 charge. Try and see how you have to balance both of these, similar like we did before. As you see, it's not automatically balanced. All right, so now both of these numbers that are going to be used to balance it out, it can be any combination of numbers that helps you balance the equation. The answer key is posted in case you need to check it out. I'm going to go down to what I think is the hardest question on here, aluminum and oxygen. All right, the first step is always the same. Aluminum is in group 13. It has 3 valence electrons. It's easiest for it to lose those 3 valence electrons. It becomes +3. Oxygen, we know, is in group 16. It has 6 valence electrons. It will become a -2 charge. All right, now this one's tricky because they're not automatically balanced. And unlike our previous example, this example here is very easy to balance because one of our values is going to have a 1. Right, one of our values is going to be a 1. It makes it a little easier to balance. Aluminum and oxygen are a little bit more tricky. All right, so again, think about your least common multiples. What number do we need? I'm going to help you through this one. We want to have 2 aluminums. That gets us a total charge of positive 6. We're going to want 3 oxygens. That gets us a total charge of minus 6. You combine those together, you still get your 0. Now this is a little tricky to draw, but the formula would be A2O3. All right, so again, the answer keys are 100% posted. If you have any questions, replay the video and reach out if you have any help. Thank you very much. If this video was helpful, if you want more like them, press the like button underneath so that I know that you actually watched it and you care. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day.